Hello, my name is James Norman Brown. Let me tell you about my time in World War II. No, I didn't hunt down thousands of Nazis or drop the atomic bomb on the Japs, mainly because I was only 16 at the time. You see, at the time, I had just heard about the Japanese bombing Pearl Harbor and Roosevelt announcing that we had finally declared war over the radio.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
And so I decided I would volunteer before I got drafted, and then I could pick what service I wanted to go into.
That's when me and my friend Red LaRue decided it was time we signed up for the Navy. We wanted to be part of the Navy rather than being drafted by the Army. So me and Red traveled from Loudon, Tennessee to the recruiting center in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The funny thing is, they suspected we were underage, so they called our parents, and our parents gave them permission.
You was allowed to go in underage, but you had to have your parents' consent. And our parents laughed and said that Chattanooga Navy had called them and told them about us being down there and signed up, and that they was it all right with them, and so they told them it was. Go ahead.
So off we went. First we went to Great Lakes Training Academy near Milwaukee. Training camp was hard. We would go out to exercise, but not too long. After all, it was January or February, and around Great Lakes it's freezing that time of year.
Down below zero, and that snowed all the time. It hit you in the face. It just felt like pins and needles hitting you in the face.
Once I was done with boot camp, I ended up going to Marine Corps Medical School. I ended up becoming a doctor's assistant. My friend Red ended up serving on a destroyer. I didn't see him until after the war. It wasn't long after that when they sent me out on a train to California, and from there Hawaii, then out to the Pacific. As we traveled, we zigzagged just in case we were followed.
They would go in one direction, 45-degree angle, and then they'd take a 45 back the other way. So they zigzagged when they got down to the South Pacific there.
I had no idea where we were going or what we were going to do. I didn't know once I got off that ship if I was going to be in hostile territory or what to expect.
They wouldn't tell you nothing, you didn't know. They just took it down to load us on a ship.
I was relieved to see it was the Solomon Islands and saw no one there, not even the natives, because we had moved them off somewhere during the war. I started off on Green Island, which was one of the smaller islands there, and it was very beautiful because of the tropical climate.
And it was about, I think they said 3 degrees off the equator. Very hot, very tropical, very lush vegetation, beautiful place. Place that I'd have loved to take my family and show them how pretty it was.
After Green Island, I got moved to the Philippines. There were natives there. I saw a bunch of them naked, living in poor living conditions. I felt bad for them.
They'd gamble. They'd be little groups of them squatted down everywhere, rolling. I don't think it's dice. I don't know. It's something though, and they would gamble, and then a lot of them would sell meat up there, and they'd take these great big old leaves from the plants, and wave these leaves to keep the flies off of them.
My job there was mainly to treat skin problems. Being in a tropical climate, many of the men had bad skin rashes from the fungus and mosquitoes. Often, however, I traveled in a Jeep with a doctor to plane crashes. You see, the runway was built in a hurry and there was loose gravel and shells everywhere, so it wasn't uncommon for planes to blow a tire or skid off the runway.
I did duty on the Irish trip in a field ambulance with the crash crew. They had a big old crane and all that went out to airplane wrecks when the airplanes came in and maybe shot up, or they run out of parts too, overseas, and then war going on and so far away from parts. Well, they'd run out of parts and they'd patch the planes up, and anyway, they had a lot of crashes.
One time a large plane carrying large bombs crashed and ended up tearing through one of the medical buildings. Thank God I wasn't in there at the time, because the whole thing ended up exploding and killing around 50 people and injuring several others. After my time in the Philippines, we moved to Okinawa. That's when I was the closest to the action. Often at night, we would hear the kamikaze planes flying overhead, and we would have to try to shoot them down.
Lots of times them kamikaze would come over and lights searchlights would shoot up all over the island, and the guns would start shooting at it at the plane, and the spotlights would get that little plane in their sights, and then the guns would all start shooting.
One day, me and one of my buddies wanted to see a battle area up close. We headed towards where we hear one had happened recently, and we wanted to explore. As we got down the road, we came across a Jeep heading the same direction. He said, "There are snipers around us." It was right after that we came across a dead Japanese. My friend wanted to check the guy for a souvenir because that's what everyone wanted. But when he went to check it out, sniper fire whizzed past our heads. Let's just say we got out of there fast. That was so stupid. We could have been killed.
They were still fighting on the lower end next to a town by the name of Naha.
It wasn't too much longer till we heard the war had ended. We ended up taking what they call a baby aircraft carrier back. The waves across the Pacific were so big they looked like mountains. I stayed what I called half sick the whole time.
But I was afraid the ship would break up. It'd screech and pop, and I don't know, it might have been in danger. After that war, then I heard of lots of ships breaking up, and I never did know, still don't know whether it was dangerous or not, but it's pretty scary. That awful big wall of water coming at you. You ever seen in your life? It didn't have hammocks to sleep in. It had regular stationary beds, and if you got one where you was crossways of the ship, and that ship rolling this way and that way, see, why, you'd be standing on your head one minute, and the next minute you'd be standing straight up, and your head bump that rail. It had a rail around it, we couldn't fall plumb out of it, but you couldn't sleep.
Finally, I came back. I was so happy to see America again. After that, I took the long train back to Tennessee. I was glad to be home safe and sound.